Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. The Golden Eagles have just wrapped up a couple of conference games at home at Reed Green Coliseum, a Thursday ball game against the Charlotte 49ers, and then Saturday night, the Monarchs of Old Dominion. And let's talk first about the Charlotte ball game, Thursday night at the Coliseum. Thought a great effort by the Golden Eagles to come up about 6 points short in that one, 82-76. But when you look back on that Charlotte ball game, what sort of stands out?
Well, you know, John, going in the game, probably the biggest key that we had going into it, we wanted to win the free throw battle, and we didn't. They went to the free throw line double what we did, so obviously that means they were the more aggressive basketball team. And even though we did some good things, obviously, you know, scoring points, because that's been our biggest, you know, Achilles, is not being able to score baskets. And, you know, to put 76 points up and lose at home was frustrating. But at the same time, you know, there were some good things. We got off to a horrible start, 15-4. Then we fought our way back and played well and finished the half pretty good. At one time had 7 straight stops, and that's what got us back in the basketball game. But in the second half, our defense is what's been keeping us in the games. It just, you know, we just didn't have it. And for what reason, I really, you know, going back and look at it, I think the effort was there. Maybe the ball just bounced the wrong way, but to win, you got to get more than 6 stops in the second half, and that's what we had. And so that was probably the biggest disappointment. But at the bright side of it, you know, maybe as we talked before, offense has been something that we've really worked on, and maybe we did some good things to give our guys some confidence.
76 points in the game. You shoot 50% from the floor. What did you see offensively that you did better than maybe you've done the last couple of times out?
Well, more than anything, I think we were just more aggressive. And, you know, for pretty much the second half, they played zone. And, you know, our guys are probably a little bit more comfortable. The pressure doesn't get to them. We handled it a lot better than we'd handled it a few games ago against Georgia State. So, you know, more than anything, offense is about confidence. And I really believe that the more and more we get going, the more confident we're going to get. And hopefully we're not going to let our defense suffer because of that.
I know you've been talking about how the pace needed to be a little quicker. Looked like on Thursday night you're able to get up the floor and get quicker shots or maybe more effective shots because of the speed of the game.
Yeah, the pace, you know, the pace that we're talking about is basically the other 4 people without the basketball. You know, they can't just stand around and watch, and when they do make cuts, they can't make them they need to make them at a fast pace, and you know, maybe get our spacing a lot better, which had been an issue. But I thought the pace of the 4 players without the basketball was better in the half court. Therefore, we were able to get some open looks.
Made a little difference. Mike O'Donnell, Mike has been kind of, he's had a virus. He's had a little back problem, but it looked like he was healthy. And when you've got him in there with that inside-outside presence that he gives you, that helps a lot.
Well, it did in this particular game, but as you well know, at the end of the game, he hurts his shoulder, so he's back in that position now that, you know, just wasn't able to give us much against Old Dominion. So, you know, Mike is a guy that's taken the place a little bit of Eddie, and that, you know, he can stretch the defense. He's really not a low post player, so he struggles sometimes there, but at the same time, he can really shoot the basketball. And one of the things that he did to help our basketball team, as you well know, he also rebounded.
All right, with Southern Miss and the Charlotte 49ers on Thursday night at Reed Green Coliseum. Let's go back to the Coliseum and take a look at all the action. Price going to drive down under the bucket, give it on the wing. Here's a jumper by Campbell on the way. Long, no good. Rebound slammed in by Watts. Watts went up above everybody and slammed in the rebound. Price dribbles right side, skip pass down to Blevins. Blevins down inside, puts it up. It was on the rim, it goes in. Kelvin Blevins working hard down inside. He's got 4 points. Jackson into the front court. Jackson driving the baseline, shoots a jumper, got it. Cortland Jackson, the little floater, his first bucket.
down low. O'Donnell under the bucket. Out front to Jackson. A three on the way. Bingo! Cortland Jackson with a three, and Southern Miss has the lead. Swats along the right baseline. Out front, Thomas to Ramey, who's back in. Ramey going to drive to the bucket and lay it in with a left hand. Mike Ramey right off the bench, takes it to the hole and scores. Thomas lobs it high, caught down low by Watts, up with the bucket, and he got it. Up off the glass and in by Raheem Watts. Did a nice job of not bringing the basketball down. Jackson on the right wing, back up to Thomas. A three straight away by Rob. Bingo! Rob Thomas left open, and he drills the three. Out front, Price. Price going to drive, feed down inside, and O'Donnell got a layup. That's a great pass by Kari Price. And Eagles lob it down inside to Blevins. Back left corner. Jackson a spot up three. Bingo! Cortland Jackson's third three. Price back to Jackson. Over to Ramey. He'll shoot a three. Left side. Bingo! Well, you can see that one going in off his hands. Price back to Jackson right side. Bounce pass along the baseline. Blevins down inside. Double pumped it up and in. Kelvin Blevins off the assist. Down to O'Donnell. Mike driving down inside. Back right wing Jackson. Up to Price to Ramey. A three by Ramey out front. Bingo! Big bucket there by Mike Ramey. Charlotte's going to get out of here tonight with an 82-76 victory over the Golden Eagles.
Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler is brought to you by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by the City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, from figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Hattiesburg Coca-Cola, want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. We'll be right back with This Week in Southern Miss Basketball right after this.
And we're back, Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Saturday night, the Golden Eagles back home at Reed Green Coliseum to take on the Monarchs of Old Dominion. And Doc, you knew coming into this ball game, Jeff Jones, their coach, former great player at the University of Virginia, and he's really done a nice job of putting this team together. And knew it was going to be a tough one. What did you think was going to be the biggest challenge against Old Dominion?
More than anything, I thought that their strength was their two guards, and Freeman probably is about as good a guard as there is in the league. And you know, they run so many things for him, and that's who they look for to get their points. And once again, you know, what a great game he had, averaging over 20 points a game for him. That's going to be, you know, that's what they do. And so defensively, we started. You know, Cortez Edwards in that ball game because I think he's our best defender, and I thought Cortez really competed hard, but at the same time he got initiated to being able to see what it was like to try to guard maybe the best guard in the league.
Our team's really not playing with much confidence, and you know, but once we got it going, we did score some baskets and got on a little flow. Again, second game we've scored in the 70s, so our offense has picked up for us. Defensively, we didn't get off to as good a start as we'd like, but at the same time, we did compete and got back into the basketball game, and took the lead at halftime, and it was a good win for our guys.
Another time there in the second half, kind of going back and forth, you got down 50-44 with about 10 minutes to go. Another one of those points where it could have tipped the other way, but some big baskets, some good defensive stops there, and you're able to come back and regain the lead there a couple of minutes later.
Well, obviously you wouldn't like to get down, but you did get down 50-44, and then you did come back to win. So knowing that you were going to win the basketball game, then that's great because that showed some toughness. We played well. Next thing you know, we're down 6. And in the past, maybe we wouldn't have showed the toughness that we showed. We had some guys step up and make some shots, get some stops, and get back in the basketball game pretty quick. And then down the stretch again, besides just missing a couple of those free throws to make it tighter than it would have been, I think we executed about as well as you can.
You mentioned Cortez Edwards. You've got so many of these young guys who, under normal circumstances, will be sitting over on the bench and redshirting and kind of learning as the season goes along. But particularly at the guard spot, Rob Thomas and Cortez Edwards are two guys that have to play, and that's kind of tough when you get into league play.
Well, it is for a lot of reasons, because every possession is so important, especially when you're in our situation where we just don't have the luxury to take a play off, and a mistake by us is really something that hurts our basketball team. So freshmen are used to being able to do pretty much what they want to do, take any shot that they want to take, and now they're in a situation where they may get 2 or 3 a game, and those 2 or 3 can't be that they're looking for them. They got to be the shots that are taken because the offense got it for them. And so I'm pleased with Rob, and I'm pleased with Cortez, and to put it in the big team picture, they're probably 2 of our most competitive people, and I think the future is going to be bright for them. And you saw Saturday night that they really competed against those 2 guards that Old Dominion has.
Well, it was the Golden Eagles and the Monarchs of Old Dominion on Saturday night at Regreen Coliseum. Let's go back and take a look at some of the highlights.
Left wing Price, skip pass, goes down to Watts. Watts back out front, Jackson. Off the dribble, Jackson down the lane, puts it up on the rim and in. Good strong move to the bucket by Cortland Jackson. Edwards driving down inside, lost it, but picked up by Thomas. To Price, a 3 left side, bingo! Kari Price got the loose ball and hit the 3. Price driving down the right side of the lane, puts it up off the glass and in. Back-to-back buckets by Kari Price. Thomas will trigger the inbounds play. Lobs it out high to Watts. Back left wing, Campbell. Campbell, a 3 from the left side. Got it. Bingo. It rattled in as the shot clock was about to run out. Back to Jackson. A 3 is blocked. And the loose ball picked up by Campbell, who fires it and hit it. Bingo. That was from about 30 feet out. Clock. Here's Rob Thomas. Thomas, left wing, Campbell, another 3. Bingo! That's 3 threes for Quentin Campbell. Watts going to work, leans, and in traffic, put it up. It's blocked, picked up by Price. Out front, Jackson, a long 3. Bingo! Shot clock, beat it. Ramey, left wing, pulls up, shoots a 3. Bingo! Ramey. Now he drives towards the corner, back to Watts, a 3 out front by Watts. Bingo! Boy, Watts was open and he drilled it. Baycoat faking. He's driving down the lane. Offensive foul. Oh boy, Raheem Watts hung in there. He saw it coming. For Jackson. Up and good again. Eagles by 5, 4.1. This one's going to belong to the Golden Eagles tonight. 73-71. Boy, the Eagles showed their heart tonight.
People ship all kinds of things.
But what if that thing is a few 100,000 doses of flu vaccine?
That need to be kept at 41 degrees.
While being shipped to a country where it's 90 degrees. In the shade.
Sound hard? Yeah.
Does that mean people in Laos shouldn't get their vaccine?
We didn't think so.
From figuring it out to getting it done.
We're here to help.
Thank you so much for this prestigious award. I'd like to thank my friends and family.
It's time for your homework.
Coming, Mama. As I was saying, I'd also like to thank my educators for all they've done with me. Without them, I couldn't do anything.
And the winner of the first place award for small cities is Hattiesburg, Mississippi for the Education Initiative.
What are you doing back there, Haley?
Feeling like a winner.
And once again, back on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bancorp South. Well, if you've watched the show, you know this is the segment where we sort of go behind the scenes a little bit, get to know one of our Golden Eagle players or coaches or somebody on the support staff. And today, our special guest is Chad Traver. He's the strength conditioning coach for Golden Eagle basketball. And Doc, this has changed a lot. When you and I were coming up and playing a little basketball, it wasn't anything like a strength conditioning coach. You kind of did that on your own, if you did it any at all. But Chad's done a great job, fits really in with what you're trying to do, and it looks like the guys like him, and you can see some of that on the court.
Well, that's the two areas that John and I know nothing about is obviously strength training and also the medical side of it. But when we got ready to hire someone, we wanted somebody that really, really was committed to basketball and knew what he was doing. And everywhere we turned, they really talked highly of Chad. So we were able to hire him from Washington State, and he's come in and done an unbelievable job. And one of the things the weight room does, and one of the things we're trying to get out of the weight room is teaching our guys how to compete. It's more than just looking good and taking your shirt off and walking along the beach. It's more about, that is hard work. And when things get tough in the weight room, he's there to make them compete against themselves, to let them know that they can go beyond what they really think they can do. And to me, that's the biggest challenge he has, and that's the biggest reward we're going to have, is that he's going to be able to help us in that area with these young kids.
Well, he's done a great job, no question about it. The guys that kind of rave about Chad and what he does in that weight room each and every day with the ball club. So let's spend a few minutes and get to know up close and personal the strength conditioning coach for Golden Eagle basketball, Chad Traver.
Stay tall, half court, turn and stride, pump your arms, drive your knees. My background leading up to my time here at Southern Miss, I came this past April. I've been a strength coach for 7 years. I'm from Iowa. I started out at small schools in Iowa and South Dakota as an assistant and as a head coach, and I had a desire to get to the Division I level. So I volunteered at Washington State University and at Ole Miss up the road. And I got back on at Washington State in restricted earnings, and this position came open, and I was very intrigued by the institution. A great history of winning, a great history of investing in strength conditioning. So I put my application in. I did not know anyone here, so just kind of a wing and a prayer, and I got an interview. I was very, very impressed with the staff, the facilities, everyone that I would work directly under. So I was really crossing my fingers and hoping, and I was blessed with an opportunity here, and I've loved every second of it. I think my philosophy as a strength conditioning coach is much like my philosophy as a man. I'm a Midwest guy. I was an offensive lineman and a heavyweight wrestler. I very much believe in hard work. What you work for and what you earn is what you're going to get. So I very much try to bring that to the strength conditioning realm. I want a high amount of effort. I want an attention to detail. We're not going to leave any stone unturned. And when it comes to specificity as far as training basketball players, that's where, as I get older as a coach, I start to realize they don't care near as much about the nuts and bolts as I do. So my job, and I take it very seriously, is to help them fulfill their dreams and their God-given potential. So what I want to do is I want to maximize transfer to the court. So we're going to do what many people see all the time. We're going to squat and bench press and jump and run and cut. But ultimately the end goal is to make a better basketball player that's less prone to injury. If I'm not doing that, then I'm failing them. So at the end of the day, I cipher everything through that. Is it about basketball? Is it getting them better for what we brought them here to do? So a lot of times I take out the stuff that I would deem fun, because it's not about me, it's about them. I think the thing that I bring is I was a small school athlete. I was always high on want and low on talent. So I had to hunt and search and try to find ways to maximize my own potential. And now being a coach, I really find nutrition, sleep, recovery, there are things where we can catch a lot of people. So I have an athlete whose genetic potential may not be as good as the next athlete. If we can get them to dial in their nutrition, to pay attention to details as far as recovery, eventually we're going to catch those people that aren't doing that. Now, what I try to do is I try to make it practical. I've been blessed here with coaches and an athletic department to give me a budget to feed our guys, to maximize recovery through shakes that I make. My assistants help me with supplementations such as vitamins and things like that. But ultimately, on a nutritional basis, education, educate. And you know, popular culture has helped us so much just because they can turn on NBA TV, they can turn on NFL Network. The J.J. Watt thing from the fall was so big on his 9,000 calorie meals. I had guys ask me questions all the time from that. So I feel like you're always going to fight battles of what it is, but if I can get these guys eating, and the nature of our sport, I'm more concerned with calories than I am that they eat like a vegetarian. So I'm going to meet them in the middle, but educate and empower, and we control as much as we can too with what we feed them and when we feed them. I ultimately am living the dream. I quit small school strength and conditioning to volunteer because my dream was to be a Division I strength coach. So every day when I come to Southern Miss, I truly am living my dream. I mean, I did odd jobs and bounced at night and got 3 hours of sleep and volunteered to get the credentials to get here. So ultimately to work with the teams I do and to be able to manage the Coliseum weight room, it is my dream, you know. And for me, being a country kid, and I really do value tradition and history and people that take pride in their roots and kind of blue collar, not quite as flashy and talky, but we just go to work, we bring our hard hats. I love it. I mean, it's truly been a blessing for me, and Hattiesburg has been a pleasant surprise to the community. I've been in bigger cities. They can have them. I like it. It's a good fit as far as the university and the town. So my time at Southern Miss to this point has been fantastic.
Southern Miss fans, show your pride with real Golden Eagles gear from the official online store, shop.southernmiss.com. You'll find everything a Golden Eagles fan needs, from jerseys to sideline gear, polos, t-shirts, hats, and more. With an awesome selection of Golden Eagles products, including official team merchandise from Russell, when it comes to Golden Eagles pride, there's only one place real Southern Miss fans go, shop.southernmiss.com.
And back on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler, presented by Bank Corp South. Well, the Golden Eagles hit the road this week. They're on Thursday night down in Boca Raton to take on Florida Atlantic, and then on Saturday night it is the Panthers of FIU. And Doc, these are two teams that you faced last year, both here at Hattiesburg at Reed Green Coliseum, but a lot of guys back on both the FAU and FIU teams, but both have had sort of different seasons so far.
Well, both of them have, have been competitive, and that's one of the things going into the league. In our league, you've got to look at the big picture. Some people may not have a good record, but at the same time, it's maybe because they haven't had many home games and they've played a lot of road games, and that's FAU. And they're playing a lot of people. I mean, so we're going to have to prepare for 7 or 8, 9 guys. But at the same time, you look on the other side of it and you go to Florida International, and they probably have the best inside player in Adrian Diaz that is in this league. So again, anytime you go on the road, especially early in the season, it's going to be a challenge. And so we've got to be ready for 2 different styles of play, but looking forward to going on the road, because one of the things that I think a young basketball team has to go through is you've got to learn how to compete on the road, and this is going to be another challenge for us to go to play those 2 teams.
And it's certainly the case for the Golden Eagles. We talk about all the adjustments those 18-year-old freshmen have to make. that's one of them, learning how to go on the road and all the things you go through the airports and, the shoot-arounds and visiting teams' arenas and things like that. That's a big change for those guys.
Well, the good news is the weather's not going to be much different than what we got here. But you're right. I mean, just, getting up early and doing something we haven't done all year. We'll actually practice early Wednesday morning and then get on a flight and get down there late Wednesday evening. So that's different. So we'll have to adjust and make sure we get a quality workout on Wednesday morning, and then you've got the day in between that we haven't had to face yet. That you got to play on a Thursday night. You go find another place to practice on Friday, and then you go play the game on Saturday. So all those things are new, but it's something that you've got to get used to and you got to go through, and it's going to help our ball team in the long run.
One thing this year in Conference USA that seems to be apparent is there's a lot of teams, if you get hot at the right time, have got a chance to be in the running for the conference championship. There have been some upsets already just in the few games that have been played. So looks like it's kind of up in the air who can win this championship this year.
I don't know that I don't know that I've ever been with this many teams, 14 teams. There's probably 10 teams that legitimately have a chance to win this league. And I think a lot of people are looking at some teams in the past couple of years thinking that maybe they're the favorite, but I'm not for sure that's going to be the case. And it looks like a lot of people maybe had some injuries early. They're getting people back now, and they're starting to play good.
All right, Doc, well, let's have a good week and see if we can't get some road wins against FAU and FIU, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks, John.
All right, the Golden Eagles on the road this week at Florida Atlantic on Thursday night, at Florida International on Saturday. So a couple of road games coming up for Doc and the ball club this week. We'll take a time to visit next week with a couple more of our Golden Eagle players and give you some highlights of those ball games between FAU and FIU. That'll do it this week, though. Don't forget Monday night we're at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Hattiesburg for the Golden Eagle Hotline. Come on by, visit with us, talk a little Golden Eagle basketball. See everybody. See you next time. Another inside look into Golden Eagle basketball.
Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Doc Sadler has been brought to you by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by the City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, from figuring it out to getting it done, UPS is here to help. Hattiesburg Coca-Cola, want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. This has been a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.